You open your calendar, it is a monument to your overcommitment. It is a colorful map of meetings, favors, volunteer shifts, and appointments that you absolutely, profoundly do not want to attend. You are booked solid until 2027. You have agreed to host the party, drive the carpool, organize the fundraiser, and rewrite your neighbor's resume. You are the designated helper of the universe. Yet, this designation feels less like a title and more like a yoke. Your body knows the truth. Your energy reserves are flashing red, critically low. The impending request feels like a physical violation, yet the impulse to appease is overwhelming. This is a common situation where your internal state clashes violently with your social conditioning. And then your phone buzzes. It is a friend or a colleague asking for a massive multi-hour favor that you absolutely do not have the time, energy, or mental capacity to handle.
Your heart rate spikes. Your mouth goes dry. You feel a familiar, cold panic. And what comes out of your mouth? The immediate, automatic, knee-jerk, self-sabotaging word, yes. It just blurts out before your brain can intervene, before your tongue can form the word no, and as soon as you hang up, the wave of internal rage and exhaustion hits you. You think, why did I just do that? I hate that person. I hate this job. I am going to be up until 3 a.m. doing this. Why am I such a pushover? If this is you, if your calendar is a collection of promises you made to other people, leaving zero space for the promises you made to yourself, your inability to say the word no is not an act of kindness. It is an act of fear. The core wound. When someone asks you for a favor, your adult mind registers the request as, "Can you spend 5 hours doing this task?" But your inner child mind registers it as, "If you say no, I will abandon you." This is the core wound.
You equate saying no with rejection, abandonment, or confrontation. You believe that your lovability is conditional upon your usefulness. If you don't perform the favor, if you don't provide the help, if you don't take on the emotional load, then the person will suddenly see you for the worthless fraud you fear you are, and they will leave. Your people-pleasing is a high-stakes, all-or-nothing gamble to prevent the primal fear of isolation. This fear is reinforced by every past moment of disappointment or withdrawal you experienced when you failed to comply. Your entire history tells you that if you reveal the true limit of your capacity, the person will conclude you are not enough and disappear. The panic you feel when you are asked for a favor is not stress about the favor itself. It is the panic of a child whose safety net is being ripped away. This is why you resort to elaborate lies to avoid confrontation. You would rather invent a fictitious illness, a sudden emergency, or a complicated scheduling conflict that would baffle a NASA engineer than simply say, "I am unable to do that."
The childhood contract. You did not start this way. You were taught this way. If you are a chronic yes person, you likely grew up in a situation where compliance equaled survival. Maybe you grew up in a chaotic home. You learned quickly that your needs were noise. Your anger was not allowed. Your job was to be the good kid, the easy kid, the low-maintenance child who didn't rock the boat. You learned a simple contract. Compliance brings praise. Neediness brings punishment. So you developed hypervigilance. You became a psychic sponge. You started anticipating other people's needs before they even asked. Your boss doesn't even have to finish the sentence and you already know what they need and you have already volunteered. Why? Because volunteering first is a form of control. You were silently thinking, I will say yes now, on my terms, before you can get angry at me for saying no later. It's a way of trying to manage the external world's feelings to maintain your internal safety. You are giving away your time in exchange for the temporary, unstable currency of approval. This hypervigilance keeps you in a state of perpetual readiness, anticipating disappointment.
You are exhausting yourself solving problems that haven't even occurred yet, simply to maintain the illusion that the environment is stable and that you are safe within it. The cost of this psychic labor is immense. You've become a martyr to your own anxiety, and that currency is worth less than the paper it's printed on. The resentment volcano. You know that saying yes constantly is destructive, but it is destructive in a particular way. It leads to the resentment volcano. You say yes out loud, but you say no in your head. You spend the entire time completing the favor, mentally screaming at the person who asked you. You hate them for using you. You hate yourself for letting them. That swallowed no does not evaporate. It ferments. It turns into resentment, which then leaks out sideways in passive-aggressive comments, missed deadlines, or a sudden, unexplained coldness toward the person who asked. The pressure finds a physical outlet, often manifesting as migraines, jaw clenching, or chronic fatigue as your body silently rages against the promises your mouth made. The ultimate irony is this: the very thing you are trying to avoid, conflict and rejection, is what you create. When you burn out and snap at your friend after doing 20 favors for them, the ensuing conflict is 10 times worse than the simple no you should have said in the first place. You turn a small boundary issue into a catastrophic relationship crisis. The emotional price of that yes is exhaustion. You are so drained and running on such low energy that the mere thought of navigating a simple, adult, respectful conversation about boundaries is too much. You choose the automatic, easy yes because you simply lack the energy to deploy the difficult, necessary no. So, how do we break the curse? You do not break it by becoming mean. You break it by becoming honest. The solution is not to go from saying yes 100% of the time to saying no 100% of the time.
Step 1. Buy yourself time. The next time the question comes, do not answer immediately. Train your brain to say one of these new lines. That sounds interesting. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. I need to talk to my partner first, and I'll text you tomorrow. Let me check my bandwidth. That pause is a superpower. It allows your prefrontal cortex, your adult, rational brain, to catch up with your panicking inner child. It disarms the automatic yes. Step 2. Practice the gentle no. When you give your answer, practice using a script that provides kindness without compliance. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't take anything else on right now. I would love to, but that's not going to work for me. I can't do that, but I hope it goes well. Notice that none of those scripts contain an apology. No is a complete sentence. It does not require a defense. Step 3. Replace guilt with generosity. When you feel the guilt of saying no, reframe it. Saying no to a favor is not being mean. It is being generous to the people who rely on you for your best energy. You are saying yes to your own well-being. You are saying yes to the promises you made yourself. You are saying yes to having the capacity to show up fully instead of showing up resentfully. Your no is not a rejection of others. It is an affirmation of yourself and your sanity. Boundaries are not walls built to keep others out. They are fences built to show people where the property line is, so you can host a great party on the inside without getting trespassed.
You are worthy of love, even when you are useless. It's time to retire the title of designated helper and accept the promotion to self-respecting human. Share this with that person who needs it.